Good evening and welcome back to IT West End. Today we are going to be reviewing our Mr.Robot virtual box with TryHackMe. Point of note before we get started, if you are constrained by time or need extra time to do this, you can always hit the 1 hour button or alternatively go to VulnHub and download an image of this. Some of the processes that we do go through do take time. So that's why I do suggest that you do download a copy. Alright, so Mr.Robot, this machine was really good. I liked it. It was very entertaining in one area and actually goes through a lot of processes in order to achieve our outcomes. So now, just as per any box, we start with Recon. So let's get to it. Just do a simple Endmap scan. It's a little noisy, but it's alright. We've got a couple open ports already. These are usual suspects, so port 80. Just let that finish up. So basically, just with this nmap command, we have a basically that T notation indicates how fast we're going to go. You may get some packet loss sometimes with higher ones, and basically it creates more noise on your network. We've got an aggressive scan with a verbose, so it's showing us what we're doing. You can also hack another V on that to make it very verbose. As well, there's our IP, so it's just going through the processes. It's just that's why we're seeing all the output for that. It's because of the verbose. See where that is. Alright, good. We got an Apache instance, port 80. Let's hit that up. Now, as you go through this, obviously this is your main presentation. It's meant for a bit of entertainment, since it is Mr.Robot. You can go through it if you wish. Let's try one of those out. Very good. Now we're still in our recon phase, so point of note, you can use Derb, you can use Nikto, both very good. However, those will take time, but I found GoBuster to be the one that worked best for me. You need a bit of a word list. There's one, or there's a couple pre-configured ones on Kelly. Also, keep a note the status codes. Um, when you learn how codes are used, you can know where you can and can't go, or it may not be worth it. Let's give that another go. Just take a few minutes. So already we can see that we have an admin and a dashboard, so those are good points to note. Also looks like we're incorporating PHP into this. And we also have a login. how to go. This is what we need. So that stands out quite a bit. It also gives us our first key. There you are. Head back. Save this file. So basically, we can see that we are running a WordPress account. We have a login. We have a dictionary. So that means we have the ability to brute force a password, but we don't know the username yet. So let's take a look at that. What do you know? We have a login page. So we can test this out. Let's try Darlene for one. Just as an example. Put test as password. Clear this out. Give it a second. There, we can say that the username is invalid, so it is checking and comparing. Now, this is where we can make a very good assumptive guess, is that it is Elliot, because it's Mr. Robot. So it's a good assumption that you can brute force it this way, not too technical. However, what you can do is you can go through burp and then compare it through and push it through to Hydra, and you will be able to get the username. So do test again, just as a test. And we can see that the response has changed, but we also see that Elliot has been compared and shown that it is correct. So we have a username, we have a dictionary. Let's try and do a brute force attack. Now with Kali, you have the WordPress scan tool, so that's what we'll be utilizing today. Now with this, I've previously put it over into my documents page. And also, when I say download a separate image, just so you can test it out on your own and not have to worry about adding 1 hour every time, this is why. Because it's going to take a long, long time. But you will get the result you want. But through the magic of computers, let's give it a go. Ah, yes. I made a mistake. You just can't simply put in the URL, you have to actually put in where you want it to actually do this. Just give it a few minutes. It's going to take probably about 5 minutes, just in this instance. However, when I did try this through 40 hours. Okay, seems to be down. Timeout reached. Okay. Now, in understanding this, when you are doing brute force attacks, there are a couple of pointers that you may want to incorporate. As far as I'm aware, that WordPress gives you the option to be notified or lets you put a cap on the amount of password entries before while being unsuccessful. Either that or use a 15 character long pass phrase with upper and lower characters, a symbol, and a number. Usually the best advice I've heard is use a passphrase that's from a lyric from a song. Makes it easier to remember unless you're using a password manager. Sorry about that. Just had to switch my Wi-Fi over. It seems it was taking a bit long in timing out on the replies. As you can see when I was telling you, that's how many different lines that it's going to check. So, we have a password. Bingo. Let's type that in. It was that taking so long. Perfect. Now we've managed to get inside the dashboard. So at this point, this is where you can take a look around, poke your nose around, see what we can find. Users. Got Elliot, obviously, and Krista Gordon, who is actually part of the show. But we can't really do anything with these because we're admin. Krista's a subscriber. Now we can either do two things. You can either make your own plugin and run it that way, or go through the easier option and go through the editor. What we need to try and do is get a reverse shell in. You can Google and find a million results for this. Pentest Monkeys comes out with a really good one. It's never really failed me, except for a few timeouts, maybe here and there, but that's about it. Now, I've already downloaded it and configured it, so let's open that up. There we are, that's our shell. Now it's going to call back to us. So we do have to set up a netcat instance for this. Copy. You only have to change 2 lines in here. And that's your IP and that's your port. You can change your port or not. 4444 is cool. Let's close that down, clear this up. Just set this up for the next following task. Make it nice and easy. Now, select all, paste. That's our code. And we update it. Now what you don't do is go through the browser and try and do this. It's not going to work. Alright, why is that happening? Alright, all seems to be good in order. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's just review what we've done. Okay, reverse shell. Obviously I spelled that out. Okay, good. Now we've updated it. Don't go through your browser. It's not going to work. Got it. Curl. With the one that we edited. There we are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's not nice and tidy, so we can tidy that up in a second. Also verify. Who am I? We're Damon. Good. Now what we can do. What was it? Put it to our bin bash. Close that off. Make sure all your semicolons and colons are and all that are opening and closing. Okay. May have to do this a few times. Just due to internet. There we are. Perfect. That's what we required. So, looks like we're going to have to use the password. So, now this is MD5, so MD5 is easily cracked. Beauty. There's your second key. And we also are root, so let's take a look around. There we are. I hope you enjoyed the Mr.Robot box today. I certainly did, and feel free to browse through the rest of the site with the Mr.Robot VM or the actual box. You'll find it very entertaining as well as I did. Good night.